Among the earliest expressions of any society's creativity are its games. Games are universal. Games are magical. Through our imaginations, we enter a different world, the world of the game. A world where we make the rules, where we are the creators. Today, the power of imagination flows through electronic technology, replacing yesterday's board games and pinball machines with tiny electronic chips. With microcomputers, whose technical dimensions and capabilities are still being explored. Today's games are actually new forms of imagination and challenges of vision. At Atari Consumer Game Design, creativity is a process of transformation. Using the imagination of our programmers, our artists, our game analysts, working individually and in teams, and pouring that energy into new games. Adapting a successful coin-op game for the Atari 2600 is a difficult challenge that requires technical ingenuity in making the small computer do things no one thought possible.
I analyzed this game for the 2600. The 2600 has most all the screens and gravities that this has. This has an invisible screen, like the 2600 has also.
You start in a solar system by picking a planet where you blow up enemy bunkers, defend yourself against enemy ships and snipers, while struggling against powerful gravitational fields. To get out of the solar system, you must either visit all the planets and destroy the enemy bunkers, or activate the reactor at the core of the alien base and escape before it explodes. Replenish your fuel supplies by landing on an energy pod. If you make it through all three solar systems, you go on to a new galaxy. All the time, you struggle against gravities that can smash you onto the planet's surface or thrust you back out into deep space.
Xevious is one of the most complex coin-op games on the market right now. I predict a good game-playing version, but as far as graphics go, it's hard to duplicate what they've done on here.
The Xevious people are trying to reclaim by force the Earth they left long ago. Cruise over the scrolling landscape on a search and destroy mission, repelling aggressors that menace you from the ground and the air. Xevious adjusts itself to the ability of the player.
As the player gains in skill, the game becomes extremely more difficult. If he plays easy, the game is easy. If you get rough, then the game gets rough.
Xevious. No other game offers the player such smart competition.
Quad Run, the first VCS game ever with a voice produced by the program itself, without extra peripherals and nothing else to buy. Quad Run, subtle variations on arcade game themes. Catch your phaser balls after you fire them. Release the kidnapped runts by zapping the runt guardians. Great game variations. A completely new kind of game.
Three can play at this game of matrimony. One player can play Kermit the Frog, a second player can play Miss Piggy, or the computer can play either. Whoever the players are, Miss Piggy must catch Kermit and lead him into matrimony. Kermit, of course, has other plans.
An Earth-like planet is being invaded by alien forces led by the Beast, which has captured Princess Lissa. Prince Colwyn must find the Beast's fortress and save Lissa. But the fortress moves to a new location on the planet every night. Save Princess Lissa and acquire the fire, and maybe you can vanquish the Beast.
Bugs Bunny is in my favorite carrot patch, surrounded by my carrots. Touch a carrot, you wascally wabbit, and you'll get yours. Ha ha ha!
You make Bugs grab Elmer's carrots and dive down his rabbit hole. Go faster by pressing the trigger on your joystick. If the dog catches you, you lose a turn. Escape the dog and win points.
And now, the first in a series of game cartridges for preschool children, ages 3 through 7. Atari and the Children's Computer Workshop bring you Cookie Monster Munch. One day, Cookie Monster was walking along and discovered a magical cookie garden where cookies were growing like flowers. The Cookie Kid had planted this garden just for him.
Me hungry from all this work. Time for a snack,
Cookie said. Well, I'm saving these cookies for a special Cookie Monster party, the Cookie Kid said.
A party? For me? That's the nicest thing me ever heard. Me want party now.
Said Cookie.
Some Atari games are licensed. They are based on famous characters or stories. Peter Naiday programmed 2 games based on Disney's characters, Dumbo's Flying Circus and The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
What I essentially did was think about elements that I thought were probably necessary to make the game work, and then try to think of something about the movie which could fit, which would be believable for that particular element of the gameplay. For instance, Sorcerer's Apprentice, there's an interaction between the sky screen and the stair screen, and that rooms are being created while you're on the sky screen.
Atari will bring you other children's games, some based on Disney characters. Just like in the movie Fantasia, Mickey Mouse borrows the sorcerer's hat and really gets into hot water. You can help Mickey fight off the brooms that are trying to overflow the tub.
Help Donald Duck guide his speedboat to fame and fortune. Donald must motor past schools of fish. Beware the menacing marshes. Stay away from the whirlpools. Look out for the rocks. Finish the race and win the trophy from Donald's nephews.
Animating film characters on the 2600 is a particular challenge to a graphic artist. To establish an identifiable personality, literally every pixel must count.
In film, you've got a fluid line that you're moving around and developing, and the computer is very limited to just 8 pixels that flash off and on. A real success in a game is whenever you can have an animation up on screen and somebody walks in and you flip to animate it and they immediately say, "Why, that's Dumbo flying."
And who can resist the graphics and action of Dumbo, popping the balloons as he flies through the air? Don't touch the deadly balloons or you'll lose a turn. Catch the colorful clowns on Dumbo's back and return them to the circus ring below. Help Dumbo avoid the tightrope clown as he drops rocks from above. A new whole family kind of game with superbly detailed graphics. The Atari 5200 Super Video Computer System brings you the most advanced gameplay ever devised.
Pac-Man has won hearts all over the world, so we created a Pac-Man game for your Atari 5200 system. Now this is Panic in Pac-Man Land. Watch out for the ghosts. Play as fast as you dare, because you can play at 8 different difficulty levels. Gobble up dots, fruit, keys, energy pills, and ghosts. Pac-Man for the Atari 5200. The best dot gobbling of his career.
I did the song for 5200 Pac-Man. I'm the sound guy. We need sound effects in the games, and a lot of times the games programmers don't have the time to do that. And I've developed this program. Let's get a tune from Jungle Hunt. I've done a Pac-Man sound effect.
Whether a game is a coin-op conversion, a licensed game based on a well-known character or story, or is wholly original, at the heart of the creative process is the programmer.
I try and create basically a sensory experience that evokes a certain feeling in the user. I mean, I tend to program from a concept. I mean, I will pick what I want to happen. Do I want the user to be in a fearful state? Do I want the user to be in an evasive state? Do I want the user to feel in a complete sense of control throughout the entire game, regardless of whether he is or isn't? This is the kind of concept I'll start with. Then I'll think of an object interaction. It's not how simple you can make a complicated game. It's how complicated a game can you make subject to the constraint of easy learnability.
There are probably as many ways of programming as there are programmers. Eric Manguise is using a very different approach in his current programming experiments.
We took a new approach in the design philosophy, which is probably different from some other people, starting from a basic spectacular effect. We tried to work up from a graphical effect and then work into the game instead of trying to design a game and then work downwards. I think it allows more flexibility because at any point along the game you're allowed, it gives you the flexibility to take a tangent and go into any abstract you want.
In Meebzork, we see an example of Atari's experimental programming. It features a complex system of three-dimensional matrix graphics using 80-step animation, features formerly available only on the coin-ops. This new game utilizes the same approach, beginning with the graphic effect and working towards a game concept. As the games grow in technical sophistication, they also grow in conceptual diversity.
Atari brings you entirely new concepts in home games. In Zari, there are 3 players: you, your human opponent, and the Zaris in the middle, played by the computer. Sophisticated new graphics give you colorful flashes as the fireballs explode. New programming allows you to change the shape of the paddle as you aim the fireballs. And if you've beaten all your human opponents, there's even a 1-player version. You play alone against the Zaris.
Black Belt represents a new wave of Atari's conceptual and programming excellence. Black Belt tests the skill of the player and adjusts game action accordingly. Black Belt uses the advanced controller for realistic techniques: snap kick, upward block, jab punch, counter punch, downward block, and side kick. Black Belt. Players cooperate to win.
The game was designed on the true martial arts philosophies, and that is to avoid confrontation.
Atari, expanding the frontiers of conceptual programming.
The most amazing baseball ever, with excellent graphics, voice synthesis, play ball, and Atari's revolutionary computer assist. Billy Martin never had it so good. When the ball is hit, the computer assigns joystick control to the correct fielder. Meanwhile, other players automatically cover the bases, just as in real baseball. And for ease of play, you automatically throw the ball to the right base. The most sophisticated programming concepts, and you don't have to have 2 players. Computer assist, excellent graphics, and unbelievably sharp voice without extra peripherals. Run scores.
Guards, thieves, executioners, all trying to keep you from collecting treasure in the anterooms of the space dungeon. Move from room to room to search for treasure, kill the enemy, or to avoid instant annihilation. You never know what you'll see in the next room, but you can be pretty sure that if it moves, it won't be friendly. Shoot first and ask questions later.
Here's another delightful Disney character, Goofy, acting as wacky as ever. Children can help him pop the balloons in a brightly colored pogo game, or guide him up a marathon of ladders to the high dive. Only Atari programmers and game analysts bring you these arcade favorites. Roadrunner. Try to direct Roadrunner to your booby traps by moving the blocks. Tempest. Select different screens, just like the arcade version. Pingo. Move the ice blocks to defeat the snow beams. And Jungle Hunt, with graphics and sounds even better than the arcade version.
I think that we have better graphics in this game than they do on the coin-op. The coral scenes and the jungle, the grass in it is quite a bit better. It's got all the aspects for a great game. Great visuals, good play. I think people are going to love it.
Our environment here we structure so that we try to enhance the creative process. And when you're exploring, when you're experimenting, you have to have the room and the freedom to go off in whatever line seems appropriate at the time to the designer.
My job is to produce a cartridge that is going to sell for Atari.
Creativity in itself I don't think is describable, but I think it's definitely recognizable.
How does consumer software achieve creativity? By building expertise, by being willing to experiment, by planning for diversity, team interaction, and by setting the stage for creativity. Atari, where the future comes from.